boys and girls. Today is actually Tuesday. I'm doing Wednesday math for you, and I just got home from the parade, and I had such a fun time with Mrs. Peterson seeing you all today. It really did our hearts good. I hope you enjoyed, those of you that could make it and see us. What a fun thing that was. Okay, so as I said, it's time for Wednesday math, and I'm going to bring up this. So last week, if you watched, I had fruit snacks. This week, I've got some M&Ms, but I wanted to quickly go over what an array is. And we need to know the words array, rows, and columns. So remember that rows go across. Like when we sit in class in rows, or you sit in a movie theater in rows, so they go across, while columns go up and down. So here I'm building an array. And how many rows do I have? How many of those go across? Hopefully you're thinking or saying out loud that there are 3 rows. 1, 2, 3. Those go across. Row 1, or the top row, the middle row, the bottom row. Now, how many columns do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if you remember last week, I told you that arrays are important to learn about because it's the building block, the basic foundation for the premise of multiplication. So I could count these by knowing multiplication, and I can say 3 rows times 6 columns equals 18. So I could say that 3 rows of 4 equals 12. 3 times 4 equals 12. I could make this 4 rows of 4, and I can multiply that and say 4 rows times 4 columns equals 16. So arrays are very important to us. So remember that our rows go across. I now have 3 rows and 4 columns. And I could change it to this array here, 2 rows, 4 columns. 2 times 4 is 8, or 4 plus 4 is 8. So when you get into multiplication, it's a quick way of figuring out things. So that's arrays. So remember that. I wish I could share my M&Ms with you as we get down to the array section on the paper today. But let's start with number 1. It says, find the unknown number to the number sentence. 8 equals 15, take away something. So we have 15 to begin with. We take away something and we're left with 8. So what would go in here? I think it's 7. And I could check that by adding 7 plus 8. Is 7 plus 8 15? It is, so I know I'm right. Number 2, we write in number form. So this is a stretched out, expanded form number. We're going to put it back together into a number form. I want to start with my hundreds. I'm not going to write 435 because that's not what we have. We have 354. So we're going to write it in that order. 354. Awesome job. Now we're going to write in expanded form. So we have the standard number, and we're going to stretch it out, 72. It's only a 2-digit number, so we just have 10s and 1s. So we have 70 plus 2. Okay, number 4. You ready for today's number? Today's number is 796. 796. Did you get it written down? 796. 96. Is that what you wrote? Good. I'm so glad. Number 5, we are going to be writing in the greater than, less than, or equal sign as we compare numbers. So our first problem, the numbers are 374 and 364. And we always check the biggest digit first. So we have a 3-digit number, it's hundreds first. They're both 300. So that's not telling us what one's bigger yet. Go to the tens. We have 7 tens on this one and 6 tens on this one. Well, which is bigger, 7 tens or 6 tens? That's right, we have 7 tens. So that makes it the bigger number. So we're going to use this first sign. That's the greater than sign. It's opened up to the bigger number. It points to the smaller number, and we read it. 374 is greater than 364. Okay, now, this problem here, before we go on, we need to figure out the number form of this expanded form number. So 700 plus 60, that equals 760. And now I can compare it. We're going to look at the hundreds. They're both 700. And then let's go to the tens. Here we have 6 tens on this one and 0 tens. So which one's bigger? Yes, this one's bigger. We're going to put the greater than sign in again. And now we have 760 is greater than 706. Okay, now down below on number 6, it says draw the number 574 using base 10 blocks. So our hundreds are the squares or boxes, our tens are sticks, our ones are dots. So we have 500, we need 5 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Our tens are 7 tens, so we need 7 sticks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And our ones are 4, so we need 4 dots. Okay, there you got it. That's our number 574. Now it's time for the arrays. Remember the M&Ms. The rows go across, our columns go up and down. We're going to use that information to answer the questions down below. So, number 7. Okay. Make that a little bigger. Now I think you can see the whole problem. So we're going to use the arrays of squares to answer the questions below. There are blank squares in one row. Okay, this is a row going across. How many squares? Well, let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 squares in one row. There are blank squares in one column. So the columns come down. How many squares are in this column coming down? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 squares in one column. Now we're going to be adding 4 numbers to get the total number of squares. So we're going to add rows because we have 4 rows. So we're going to add how many are in that row? Well, it said in one row there was 6. So we're going to say 6, that's these 6, plus 6, that's the second row, plus 6, that's our third row, plus 6, that's our fourth row. And now we can add those together. So 6 plus 6, I know that these 2 equal 12. And 6 plus 6 equals 12. So I can add 12 plus 12. 12 plus 12. Some of you probably are right there already. But let's put it this way, and I can say 2 plus 2 is 4. 1 plus 1 is 2. So in this whole array, there are 24 squares. Now this is how we can talk about the whole thing. We had 6 columns, and how many was in a column? 6 columns of 4. Remember, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 in a column. 6 columns of 4 equal 4 rows. There's 4 rows of 6. There's 6 in each of these rows. So if we have 6 columns of 4 equaling 4 rows of 6, how many do we have altogether? We figured it out right here. We have 24 total. Okay, there you go. That is a Math for Wednesday. Have a great day, Mustangs. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.